by Sam, Miss Buckley again, coming at you with a crafty video this time. So your packs this week have been on the jungle, which is very exciting. So our craft this week is going to be making a jungle snake. So don't worry if you don't have any of the things I'm about to show you. Be creative, see what you can do. If you want to draw a picture, make a poster, that's absolutely fine. But if you do have these things, then we can maybe make an exciting jungle animal. So I'm going to make a snake, and what you need is the inside of a toilet roll, a pair of scissors. Make sure we're holding these safely. Make sure you always use them when you have an adult with you, okay? Make sure you bring really safe. A glue stick or any glue that you have at home, a pencil, colouring pencils or pens, and just some plain paper. If you have coloured paper, that's absolutely brilliant, but if not, plain paper will be absolutely fine. So that is what you need to make our jungle snake. Let's get going. And there we go, a close-up of all of the things you will need to create this snake. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that your snake is going to look interesting and is going to look fun and will stand out in the jungle. Because even though you can get brown snakes, it would be a bit boring if your snake only just looked like a toilet roll. So you need to draw some fun shapes and designs that you're going to stick on your snake once it's all cut out. So I've got some colouring pens here. I think I'm going to draw a few circles, a few triangles, and some squares. Make my snake look kind of jazzy and make it look cool to work in the jungle. So I'm going to draw some fun shapes that are going to make my snake look interesting, stand out in the jungle, and be exciting to look at. Now, making sure that I'm keeping the shapes nice and small, because if they're huge, then they're not going to fit on my snake when I cut it out. Now I'm going to colour these in very carefully, colouring them in nicely, because we want our snake to look neat, don't we? We want it to look nice and neat and nice and tidy. So I'm going to draw some shapes. I'm going to do a few more colours, colour in, do a few more shapes, and you will then see what the snake is going to look like. Okay, so now I have finished drawing all my shapes that I'm going to stick on my snake. However, I now need to cut them out. Now this is the tricky bit. Make sure you have an adult with you at all times, and make sure that you cut out really, really carefully, okay, so your snake looks nice and neat. Let's have a look. So, get your scissors nice and carefully, and you start to cut out your shapes very, very gently. So I'm going to go round the circle and cut out each shape independently, okay, and when you've got all of them, we'll be on to the next stage. Okay, so now you should have a little pile here of all your shapes cut out that you're going to eventually stick on your snake. So next thing we need to do is draw a head for the snake. So we can't have a snake with no head. So we're going to draw the head for the snake, and we're going to draw its tongue sticking out like this, like a little tongue, scary snake. So we're going to start with the top of the head like this, and then go round like this. So that is going to end up being our snake. And as you know, snake tongues come out, have a forked tongue, and then they go back. Make sure you make it big enough that you can cut it out easily. And then we'll do two eyes. We'll do two eyes, and that is going to end up being our snake. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to colour it in green, and then I'll cut that out, and then we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, so now you have all your shapes cut out, and you've got your head of your snake cut out as well. I've given mine scary yellow eyes and a red tongue. You're ready to do the most exciting bit, which is to turn your boring toilet roll into the snake. So I've actually gone to get myself some slightly smaller scissors for this bit. So if you do have smaller scissors, maybe some nail scissors or something like that, then that is going to be really helpful. But if not, as I said, we can just do our best. So what you do is get your scissors, make sure you're with an adult and make sure you're staying safe. You get your toilet roll and you just start cutting around it like this. And it'll end up making a nice spring. So I'm going to start from back here, and I'm just going to cut all the way around like this, and it's going to make a lovely springy snake. Some of it's a little bit tricky to cut, but it will make a lovely springy snake eventually when I get round. There we go, nearly there. There we go, and this has made my lovely springy snake. So next what you need to do is we're going to stick on our snake's head, and we're going to stick on our shape. So you need to have a look at what end do I want my snake to have its head. I think as this is the curliest bit, I think that's going to be my tail. So I'm going to stick the head on this bit here. So I'm going to get my glue stick, and I'm going to get my snake's head, which is here, and I'm going to stick it on my snake. So I'm going to do a bit of glue here, not too much glue, but just enough. And I'm going to stick it so the tongue is sticking out the end. So here we go, there we go. That marks the head of my snake, and as you can see, it's just starting to take shape. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my shapes on the snake to make it a little bit more interesting and more colourful. So I've got 8 here. I maybe should have drawn a few more, so think about that. Think about how many you want to draw. So I'm going to take my shapes and I'm going to stick them on my snake to make it nice and interesting. Now just a little bit of glue, up it comes, and then we are sticking our shapes on. So there's a triangle going on. I've got a nice purple star here. I kind of want that to be near so I can see it, so where would be a good place? Oh, I think maybe here would be a good place to put my star. So get sticking, get all of your shapes on, and then we'll get to the last bit. So here we have it. Here is my jungle snake. Now I've stuck on all the shapes that I did. I think it might even better if would be to maybe do some more shapes and some more colours. You have more of the snake to cover than you think you do at the beginning. So make sure, maybe aim to do 20 shapes. You can use colouring pencils. You can even draw straight onto this. If you have paint, you can use that. But I think that mine needs a little bit more colour. I've also drawn a rattle on the end of mine with some yellow felt tip pen to make it look like a rattlesnake. I thought that was quite a fun detail for you to do. But have a go. You can use everything that you have at home. Make sure you get your snake's head on, or it has no head. And this is how you make a jungle snake. Good luck and have fun, and I can't wait to see what you create. Make sure that you are emailing the pictures of what you make to your class teachers, because we love seeing them. Have a lovely day. Bye.